But residents are still feeling the effects of heavy rain, strong wind, and high surf.
This is Mike Seidel at Nags Head on the Outer Banks. This is the spot where Dennis is hitting the hardest at this point. We'll have another live report from the beaches coming up in just a moment.
Hello and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Bob Child, and we're going to have a complete look at your forecast and current conditions around the U.S. But right now we're going to check in the update desk with Bill Keneally to find out the latest on Hurricane Dennis. Bill?
All right, Bob, thanks again. We continue to monitor Hurricane Dennis pulling away from the shoreline, but it's a rather broad hurricane in scope, and the impact being felt well up into Virginia now, in the Virginia Capes area, including the Bay Bridge Tunnel, where that 18-mile roadway, while it is still open, is being curtailed somewhat. 18-wheelers that are empty are not allowed on the bridge, nor are cars towing anything, nor are motorcycles on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel coming out of Norfolk heading up onto the Delmarva Peninsula. And at times we've had reports of wind gusts to 65 miles per hour out there in the Bay Bridge Tunnel itself. Let's show you the whereabouts of the hurricane as of the 3 p.m. advisory. Hurricane Dennis at 34.6 north, 74.5 west, about 75 miles southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. And by the way, the Bay Bridge Tunnel is up in this area, and that's the area that's still being buffeted by the tropical storm force winds. The top winds of the hurricane around that eye wall at 90 miles per hour, movement to the east-northeast rather quickly. Enjoy that progress. It looks like it's going to come to a grinding halt sometime later on tonight. Pressure based on the reconnaissance aircraft, 966 millibars, and you can see the movement very, very evident here as it is continuing to track its way generally off towards the north and east. And you can see the hurricane has its eye wall still well offshore, which is very good news for the residents and our reporters alike. We'll get to that momentarily, but we've had reports of very heavy rain and very high wind as well. I want to show you some video before we get to Mike Seidel in the Nags Head area. Video shot earlier today in Craven County. This is over by New Bern, North Carolina, so it is an inland county, but still trees down, power down, several inches of rain has fallen. As far as flooding goes from the Sound, I'd watch the south end of Pamlico Sound. There could be some surge flooding here with a rather unrelenting north wind now blowing in the wake of the hurricane. The good news is, though, skies are actually clearing in the greater Wilmington area. That is not the case up along the Outer Banks, though, in Nags Head, North Carolina. Mike Seidel will attest to it. Mike, I guess the rain and the wind are the least of your worries right now.
Right. The biggest problem I've had this afternoon, the reason I've been crunched over so much, is the fact that the sand is literally just eating away. At the, you know, it just pounds you on the back. And there goes another gust. So that's why I'm kind of turning away from the camera and bending over, keep the sand away from my face and my eyes. We're here at Nags Head on the Outer Banks, and this is a good illustration that a hurricane is not just a point. It covers a large spatial area. And although Dennis's eye never made landfall and is moving away from the coast, just look at the kind of weather I'm experiencing. And these winds aren't even hurricane force and gust. Had a wind last hour gusting to 63 up at Duck, north of here, and over at Manteo, a little bit of a little southwest of here, 54 miles an hour. So we're, you know, miles away from the hurricane, and we're still getting some pretty good wind. Take a look at the surf out here, and we're getting wind gusts up to 50, 60 miles an hour, and that's done a number on the surf. The wind really came up overnight, the combination of Dennis and the high to the north. The Nags Head Pier is in pretty good shape, but we're really concerned about high tide tonight. Around 11 o'clock, the water's going to come over this dune line and head towards our motel. Fortunately, they've put everybody in the second and third floor to keep them safe, and they've boarded up the lower levels. Once again, high tide at 11. Damage has been minimal. We've seen some shingles blown around, some pieces of debris off the edges of buildings, but the damage, again, isn't going to be the big problem. It's going to be the beach erosion. This is going to stick around. This wind's going to stick around for a couple of days as we head towards Labor Day weekend. So if you've got Labor Day plans, hopefully we'll get all this storm out of here, but your beaches that you're used to seeing will likely not be in the same shape or form. Bill, we'll keep you updated here from Nags Head. Back to you, buddy.
All right, Mike Seidel, hold up there in Nags Head, North Carolina. Unfortunately, Mike, it looks like Hurricane Dennis has some staying power, so folks that are booking reservations late in the week want to keep abreast of this, as it looks like it wants to hang around the better part.